Okay, Fambulem, una ado, this na Psycho John Barry again, like we been promised una say we get for bring one of we political leaders na salon, we na former minister, Dr. Richard Conteh of the former government. And then Ideya, of course, not new to this program, to the then and now, he always they come and enlighten people them about happenings back home. So today we get you get a lot for talk about. We get a lot of stuff for talk about from the ECSL issues, what's they happen between the ECSL and the political party them. And then we'll get for talk generally on the election, the political atmosphere in Sierra Leone. But we una stay tuned, and say we know they disappoint all the time when we tell una say we bring somebody and that person they must come. So fumble them, una stay tuned and una share as many as una can. Stay tuned. Okay, Fambulem, and we go one for lay we guest because we know say una boku sabiam, but at least maybe for the new viewers, them we just join. We go one make you introduce yourself.
Mina Dr. Richard Conteh of the All People's Congress Party.
Okay, so what in your position at the All People Congress Party?
Currently, Mina the co-chair for the Elections Management Committee for the All People's Congress Party, and I may represent APC in the ECSL.
Okay, thank you so much for the time where you don't spare for can talk to viewers and Sierra Leoneans right across the world, including Sierra Leone. The APC don't raise concerns with ECSL regarding the release of the disaggregated voter register. Tell me more about it, please.
Yeah, for several months now, the All People's Congress Party don't they engage with the ECSL and with a request for make them give it a final list of voters, what we call the disaggregated voters list. This request is not extraordinary. In fact, now part of international best practice that all political parties therefore get this list usually 6 months before the elections. In 2018, on all previous elections, we make that list available to the parties 6 months before elections. In October of 2017, 9 government or ECSL then, or whatever they call NEC then, make that list available to ECSL. This year, unfortunately, the Electoral Commission refused for make this list available to political parties, and they use all kind of flimsy excuses. They say, oh, because people they still they transfer, so therefore then they wait till all the transfers and do, as if to suggest that this is the first time ever in the history of elections now salon where people in the transfer. It's not new. Issue about transferring of people who said they want for vote because of maybe change of job or because of movement from one place to there. It's not new in the political landscape. And that not ever stopped the Electoral Commission from releasing the voters register to the political party. But this time they withhold them until just yesterday. Now they say we can go pick them up. And yesterday I go pick them up. But one of the things where happened with the register, of course, where we go pick, that is very different from every register we would ever receive. as a political party. And there is no way from the register they don't give it for make you even know who that this person here, whether na pikin or na old person. And the pictures where they put on the register is at least 6 years old, which means the picture with me being taken in 2017, where they be the register me for the election. That same picture in 2017, now they appear today. So which means picking them, for example, where now been 13 years old, or so, or even 12 years old. That in 12-year-old picture, now they appear today.
Hello? Yeah, I think say we get still internet problem. But
So now that they can, yeah, waiting this they therefore succeed for do now a call coming come through. Waiting this they therefore succeed for do now for really just make it impossible for make or difficult for make we able know exactly how many picking them they don't put inside the register. Remember, I tell you now in the last interview on Tuesday, say they put in 55,000 first-time voters at the register, and that in Kenema alone, they put over 18,000 first-time voters at the register. In Kailahun, over 8,000. In Bo, over 4,000. You know, and it's just impossible. Even Western area, where ordinarily for record the highest number of people away there on the voters register or first-time voters, now only a little over 2,000. Then do they? So then do this thing just for further try for skew the register for satisfy their own selfish agenda. And if we now recall, I'll be also telling us say this register and they're not still stop for part. Because waiting we just discover where then go give it the new one today. The new register will find out say the number of people that waiting for the new one, it passed the first one they give yesterday. Which means they are still party. They are still party. And waiting all of this, they just further go for tell like that. Then why the database is not credible. If the database can just keep changing by the day, then it's a very serious issue because we will expect say the register then get up. If for day, now just an issue of copying it on to a flash drive or onto a hard disk. It's not supposed for change. So if 24 hours, the number don't change by a few thousands, you can only wonder waiting if it don't happen to that register over the several months where it don't day in their custody. You know, and the APC, we don't repeatedly talk say we don't get confidence in the integrity of the voters register. We don't talk repeatedly, we don't get confidence in that. And the action where they take after they don't do a whole big ceremony yesterday for the handing of a whole big ceremony where they stream live. They air them on SLBC, on AYV, and on all radio stations that Freetown. Make big noise about her. Only for make 24 hours later, then call back and say, no, that thing they were good yesterday is faulty. On account of the correct one. What if the same thing happened with the results? If these people cannot handle data, whether they in their custody for years, how can they guarantee that the results we get for just day with them for a very short time, they're not going to mix them up? You know, and the whole problem is that these people, they don't succeed over the years for just confirm say we cannot trust them. You know, and the credibility of the elections, of the process, is as good as the credibility of the voters register. And clearly, these frequent changes, they just go for confirm say the register not correct. We are still analyzing the register we then give it. The first things that we observe, one, that this new one get more names than the old one. Two, we still get missing photos. Plenty people there, their face knocker. And we also observe, say, they don't remove from the register 1,695 people. We said they carry them go at the one grade salary.
Okay,
and
so
they increase the people them, like their own strongholds. and reduce people there significantly. Now we own strongholds, and that is not fair. That is not a level playing field, you know. And
So,
in 2015 alone, between January and June 2015, 55,000 first-time voters where they say they get, and 18,000 of them from Kenema alone, 8,000 of them plus from Kailahu alone, 4,000 plus. Well, just give the exact figures of that day. You know, it's very worrisome. It's very worrisome. So we as APC, we very concerned about the credibility of this whole process. 18,432 from Kenema alone, 8,264 from Kailahu, 4,699 from Bo. You know, this is very serious. This is very serious. And it just go for make we know say there is an orchestrated attempt for thwart the right of the Sierra Leoneans for elect the leader of their choice. And then feel say then go use the Electoral Commission for impose the SLPP against the will of the people of Sierra Leone. And this is unacceptable. You know, it's unacceptable. We'll not get any more confidence. And we will see a clear case because of these manipulations. We're not even ready for follow due process.
Yeah, Dr. Conteh, you don't like these are very serious concerns, and like it hinges around credibility, transparency, and all that stuff. But now, una the APC, what una fise una go do for able avert like fraud from taking place and for ensure that una protect una vote them and for make una get a satisfactory result?
We don't take every measure available for make sure say on polling they will protect the votes. But that is on the assumption that this government will allow people then for go out on polling day and vote. Already, we see how they go about this campaign. Any day where APC for campaign, then they attack APC. Today, na APC then day for rally.
Okay, Dr.
The police
Conteh,
they attack we.
Okay, thank you so much.
So what if they do the same thing during elections?
Okay.
We see that one. They attack the people there.
No, with the candidate, you get ample time for discourse, but we want to clarify this serious issue because Alekuna campaign or whatever. But if the figures are, let's say, like how una this is, so they are not fair, they've been tampered with. So I want to clarify that with this voter register first. Una say names them be deleted here, like na una your stronghold, while they make some additions. Na the ruling party they use stronghold. What in the APC they do for address that issue? They una go into election having that problem.
We go into the elections.
Okay.
Waiting then where then they try for do now for provoke the APC for make the APC go say with the boycott, so that they would then go ahead and impose themselves on the will of the people. Now their own trademark. We not go allow them. We not go boycott. Going these elections, letting the international community and all stakeholders in the process know say it's a flawed process. It's a process that cannot be trusted, and it is a recipe for chaos in this country.
Okay, but critics may ask now, how can you participate in a process that is flawed?
Well, we not get choice. We just can participate, and we are waiting with the fear, and when I make with the come out and talk, that for make the members of the APC self not take the law into their own hands. Clearly, we members of the APC don't exercise so much restraint over the last 5 years. And I think there is a limit to how far you can push somebody. Okay. And that's a wildest worry. And I make with the raise people there know say they are pushing the APC too far. The leadership don't do invest over the last 5 years for restraint with membership. But there's a limit to what even the members from the leaders. Right now, as leaders, we are losing credibility in the face of our people. Then they feel say we're not able to protect them. Then they feel say we're not able to stand for them. Just because we want to keep the face. And it might get to the point where they will say, okay, una come out, we defend ourselves. And if the people that decide for defend themselves, I think nobody no go say not on behalf for too long.
Okay, thank you so much. This now then and now we get with we Dr. Richard Conteh of the APC. He talk on issues them about the ECSL with the political atmosphere. But we get to go into waiting the incident that we've been on the happen, who they done the year for the past days, like the recent one today for about Conteh, with the one we happen at Kenema and some other arrests them who year. But what we really want to clarify this issue of voter register, the disaggregated register where they release to them as una all yeri, una do yeri. They released one yesterday because I've been want ask you about you Twitter where you say the one where them been given about you don't add say them don't give una another one. But Dr. Conteh, una let's say una political party members them go really concerned. If una say this is a serious issue, una say more or less they don't tamper with the figures, they don't delete to una, they don't add na the strong SFPP stronghold, yet una say una they go into elections. What do you feel say go be the outcome if una go into the elections?
APC they win.
Okay.
Because we believe say the people of Sierra Leone have had enough of the SLPP. The suffering for the people of Sierra Leone, it don't become too much. And the people of Sierra Leone, they will go express their true will on that day. I don't talk in previous interviews for say, this election is not an election about APC versus SLPP. It's about SLPP versus the people of Sierra Leone. It just happens, say, people of Sierra Leone, they see in the APC the right alternative. And that is based upon the track record of the APC, we're very good compared to the SLPP. And so anytime the people are going to choose the APC. And when it comes to the suffering, you don't get color. When it comes to the suffering, you don't get boundary. People are really, really suffering. Any side you go, even for many people, then get 1 square meal for the day they happen. People are waiting at market where they sell, they grumble. I'll get a meeting, then they're there with traders. They know they sell. They do go open the market all day. Once they do this, it is terrible. The private sector is dying of taxation. They just increase taxes by the day, as if taxation will go out of fashion. And they feel say that they make money by raising taxes. No, they work. They kill the private sector. When they kill the private sector, they are basically ruining the very source from which they were able to get money for all the country. So these are the problems. And the register where they give it, usually last year, the register where they give it show the person in name, in papa in name, in mama in name, the year we born, and all the rest of it. So that as the person appear before you, if they say this person is 60 years old, then you see a 20-year-old person stand before you, go able to query her. If especially this time where picture not it. You don't look at somebody and say, no, this person now not to you. What they do this time, they just write name and they put picture. And they call her voter
Dr. Conteh, what now are the safeguards them won't put? Because if then issue are there, these are very important issues. And then if these issues are there, how can you protect your votes? Like especially now, we know they talk about your stronghold, but na the southeast or na the SFPP the stronghold. How una feel say una go able guarantee say una vote go be counted?
The first thing where they ask for, where they demand as a political party, now that this register is not credible, the international community for help will get an independent audit of the register. Because, as I say, it's not helpful for go into an election with a flawed register. Clearly, the outcome will be flawed. Will not get any more confidence. So they demand, if that would mean, say, that for defer the elections for a few weeks, so be it. But just like they demand an audit in Kenya, and it was granted, the people of Sierra Leone, the All People's Congress to be specific, they demand an independent audit of this register. If they say they short circuit with register, then clearly we need for auditor. Secondly, we think say there is an acute capacity challenge in the ECSL. An acute capacity challenge. And when somebody will get acute capacity challenge, they try to do the wrong thing. It's terrible. The outcome can be terrible. And we have to understand, say, they are joking with the lives of Sierra Leoneans. People have suffered. People have lost their lives. People have lost their jobs. People have lost their businesses.
Yes, Dr. Conteh, if I may jot in, sir. I mean, it sounds cyclical, it sounds repetitive, and these are things that are known. That there is acute poverty in the country. A lot of people are not sinking into poverty and etc. And going into elections, you'd expect, the person where the champion then cause them therefore be ahead of the elections. But with what you say, there are discordance, in what you say. It seems like you guys are not holding a particular position. I say this because one moment is like, we will go into elections. And like the host say, going into the elections also imply when they go into an elections with a data. This is not about the crowd when they pool. It's about data. It's about statistics. This is what is going to be used. And the issue here is they call into account this data and statistics were available. And the only reason where we can suppose why is because, as you've stated, that are not satisfied with them. So it's clear that the data is botched, that the data is geared towards disadvantaging you guys. But one moment you say, we call on the international community for appropriate a new system so that we go able for audit this and that. But you are all equally saying from the other side of your mouth, sir, that they go into the June 24th elections. Will you just be straightforward with your supporters, the Sierra Leonean people? Where does the APC really stand? It's just 2 weeks to elections.
I'll not let you choice of words. I am not discordant. I'm very consistent. And the party has been very consistent for the past several months in saying we do not trust the ECSL, we do not trust the data, and waiting to happen today, that a confirmation of waiting the party don't hold all this while.
Without cutting you off again, Dr. Conteh. No, I mean, like I say, it's I don't intend to cut you off. It's repetitive. It's repetitive.
No.
The position here is you don't trust the data, but you're saying that you will go into elections. You know, they tell the people how you go into the elections, other than after the elections, or they hope that the elections will be postponed. You still, they call, say, you will go into the elections. How are you going to go into the elections with the current set of data will disadvantage you?
With the data, no credible, that is what we have. And they want to use that to make we boycott, we not the boycott. If the international community, they not agree for intervene, we'll go into the elections and I tell you, say, we'll still winner. These people are bent on doing the wrong thing, but we believe, say, we have the people on our side, we are still going to win. Wait till America tell you now that with a boycott, we're not a boycott. The America tell you, say, we pull people out of the street, we are a responsible party, we are a government in waiting, and we believe in the rule of law, and so we exhaust all the available legal remedies at our disposal. And we use all the available options in terms of seeking redress, in terms of seeking correction to the ills where they happen. When all else fails, the All People's Congress Party will take a decision. As of today, waiting, I don't talk that the position of the party. If the party change in stance over the next 1 week, we will come back and say the party's position has changed. What I'm telling you now is the consistent position. We are not boycotting. We are raising the concerns we have through all the available channels where we get, and we make the Electoral Commission, they know, say, we're not stupid, we don't expose them. They are up to some fishy game, but the nemesis will catch up with them, and the people of Sierra Leone will get their way at the end of the day.
A colleague of yours or a coalition member of yours, a renowned politician who was on this platform just a few days ago, without blushing, Dr. Conteh, as an opposition would normally do facing them kind of circumstances there, he said it clearly for the whole world, the sympathizers, the followers, and the whole nation for Yeri, that under the present circumstances, it's unbearable and intolerable. And if it's unbearable and intolerable, as said by Charles Francis Magai, an ally of yours into this election, you seem for the talk with a degree of measure which shows maturity in politics. I know they say Francis Magai is not mature in a sense, but it just depends on the situation as it is. 2 weeks into election, a little bit over 2 weeks into elections, you just receive inside 24 hours the much anticipated disaggregated list. The first one we want to receive, we are not done for analyzing yet, then withdraw them. They send a second one, and the second one still in question. What more can the APC take to say we're not going into the elections until these issues are resolved? It's not boycotting. It's like these issues need to be addressed before we can go into an election. Does not necessarily imply boycotting.
I think, say, you don't try to understand, say, in politics or in media or in all man get your own words where they use. You don't tell me about the words where Charles Magai use. Me get my own words where they use, but all they portray the same thing. If I tell you, say, the dates are not credible, Pastor talk, say, use the words Magai use, I know they use them, but that's the same thing they boil down to. And I'll tell you, say, because of that, and I'll tell you, say, because it's not credible, then the entire process is flawed. Therefore, we are demanding an audit. And we are calling on the international community who are moral guarantors to the peace process in Sierra Leone for make them intervene. SLPP, they lead the country back into chaos, back into anarchy, and then therefore try for put a stop to that and save this country from going down. I don't also tell you, say, as APC, we gradually get to the stage where we will find that increasingly difficult for restraint with members any longer, because our members have been pushed and pushed and pushed. We have restrained them, we have restrained them, we have restrained them. It might get to the point where they might push us aside and then decide to defend themselves. That is how I will put it.
Do you think this is a strategy now the the SLPP playbook for provoke the opposition into such action?
I think I don't tell you two things. I don't tell you, say, SLPP, their strategy and for provoke to the point where they say they boycott. Then they go ahead and defeat. Two, then they try for provoke to the point where we go say we defect. Then they unleash the police, the army, and the Kamajo militias against the people and slaughter them when at their trademark. That's the intent for do. The APC leadership, the responsible leadership, will not go play into their own hands. We get real strategy, we get real approach, and we take decisions as the necessity they arise. But clearly, I don't tell them, I say, waiting they happen is untenable, and the international community, who are our moral guarantors, need for stepping for avoid a bloodbath, for avoid this country going back into war, going back into crisis. And clearly, the writings on the wall, they suggest that.
Just before I yield the floor to Sekou John, on the same basis, you see, there is no certainty, Doc, and I'm hanging on every word that you're saying. What thing I understand is the only hope, or one of the main issues, the way the opposition APC is looking at now as some form or kind of rescue, is the international guarantor them, the international community. But you are saying the need for, not that they are going to step in. I say this because it's been many years now you've been working with the international community, and most of these things that are happening in terms of opposition, incumbent relation, pending elections, and the same international community spending millions on the elections, observer status, ECOWAS, the protocols all involved. Now you're saying on this live broadcast that there is no certainty, that you're still calling on them just weeks away from the election. This is mind-boggling. This is disheartening, or will be disheartening, as now one of the only options we're left.
In international diplomacy, that's how you speak.
Sorry, will you repeat that, please? I know
In
quite
international diplomacy, that is how you speak.
that is how we speak. Okay.
Yeah.
You also get a responsibility to also speak to your constituents, them who are hanging on every thread, who are looking for direction.
And that is also what that dynamic at the breakdown me discussions or me contributions in such a way that everybody go understand me. That make and not maybe use the type of words where other people they go use. I'm very clear. I use very simple, straightforward language where everybody go understand. And I think say by now it don't clear to we that waiting they happen now this between the APC and the ECSL is not correct. In that ECSL don't demonstrate, say they not get credible data. They don't demonstrate, say they cannot be trusted, and they don't demonstrate, say they are leading this country into the wrong path. We don't want that. We don't want chaos. We don't want problem. We don't want conflict. So that's why we call it the moral guarantors for men to step in whilst there is still time for them to step in, for men to save this country from degenerating to chaos. And clearly, in that direction, this government and ECSL want to lead this country.
So despite all your fears, despite all your concerns, the APC is going to win the elections.
Despite all our fears, despite all our concerns, we remain confident in the people of Sierra Leone. They don't demonstrate in 1996. They don't demonstrate some before. Say they can choose. They can go out and take the right decision. And we believe, say, this time again, they will do that.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Conteh. Famulem una di watch and listen to Dr. Richard Conteh. We now a seasoned politician, and he don't serve various ministry under the former president Ernest Bai Koroma, and then a senior politician, and he there for address issues them. Well, we that then and now we there for ask questions on your behalf, and then we haste them they all about with the concerns then they come from various quarters. So we feel our responsibility for bring those concerns to the politicians, and the one that we're willing for can talk. Because again, I want to remind you now, some people go say, hey, why would I not invite the ruling party members? We don't extend an invitation. We don't invite the Minister of Information. We don't invite various people. We don't try for contact some former council chairmen in the provinces, but they all know he will come yet. But anytime any of them willing for come, we ready for host up. Would they ask critical questions? We know they have for babysit anybody. Would they have for ask critical question where they help Sierra Leone, where they help all. Again, we know they are for create anything for anybody, but we they are for development and for push democracy go before. Dr. Conteh, you say earlier on that Sierra Leoneans are suffering, and you really emphasize on the suffering. But ironically, you they see where, let's say, the ruling party where they come out, you they see the crowd, you they see how people in the come out. So how you go able to connect waiting you they say and voting people in the see?
No, in fact, that you see crowd, they come out, means the people change. Now, they your way for demonstrate, say they're not happy with the status quo. If you look at the crowds when they come out when the SLPP they come out, as against when the APC they come out, they clearly see say the people are yearning for change. And one other thing we need for notice that
but
the APC crowd, excuse me, I can finish. The APC crowd, not a borrowed crowd. Now crowd from the side where they will not get money for boss people to locations, like the ruling party, where they boss people to locations, without they go hold their meetings. We not get that money there. They in opposition 5 years. The money don't do. Then get money. They don't print money where they don't lost. They in their hand. They don't get they don't print new money, but the old money still be in circulation. So all don't mix up. Nobody no normal money they then they buy that they sell and they get the profit. So they get free money for use. Now then they travel and they get per diem plenty, and we also they see the audit report on all the money they don't lost at the system. All the money they are their hand. So when they compete with them for money, we they compete based upon we track record. We they compete based upon waiting we don't demonstrate to the people of Sierra Leone say we can deliver. And would they say we go come back for unite this country, for redeem the people from the suffering where they don't undergo in these last 5 years. We will come back and redeem this country, take them back, put her on the rails, and make it begin move again in the right direction.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Conteh, for this light way you don't shed on this issue. But again, we don't see press release from the All People Congress relating to issues we happen Pujeun, we the APC complain of, well, say the SLPP, allegedly SLPP people them attack una members, throw away acid, by some of them, and some man run away, and instead for the police come arrest the one the way do this act. Now some of una members them back there ended up arresting. So then issue then I know they go first to the Kenema side. That issue they won't be raised when I report to the police. Anything don't come out of that?
Nothing, not happen. And this now that waiting I be start for talk about this now. As part of the electoral process, when they do nominations, every political party gets a time where they designate for the party for nominating candidates. And usually, when a candidate go to and from the venue of the nomination, they go to people there. So in Pujahu, the members of the APC, they be there in a very jubilant mood. So they go, then the SLPP thugs, they come attack them, throw away acid pan them, beat them, damage them. When the police then come, instead of they arrest the one there, where they attack, where they perpetrate the mayhem on the APC, at the APC they get the attack. They just go lock in themselves. No charge, nothing, because they are actually the victims. 2 days ago, we see videos again on social media where the SLPP thugs, under the instruction of the Minister of Information, they found roadblocks and they threaten for attack any APC person where they go and the minister tweets after that. At no point in tweets did he say not to instruct the people there, because the statement saying that inside there is very clear in their videos. It not refute that, which means we are instead they say the people then they vex because the feature paramount chief. If they're feature paramount chief, we're going to police.
Okay.
Are we a country where rule of law they obtain, or a country where rule by force they obtain?
Okay.
We believe say this is wrong, that they take undue advantage of governance, that state capture at its worst, and we believe say this is a recipe for chaos. What if the AP says, okay, that is your stronghold, you can do it. We also have strongholds. We say they make roadblocks. NSFP Manka will beat up.
Okay, Dr. Conteh, Dr. Conteh,
we do that. You can say, born good picking in this country. It could be chaotic.
Thank you so much. But what do you go say? Because where that video they come out, the I think say now one turn where they call Foindo or something around that area.
Point where?
Yeah, but now then self alleged say because understand say then accuse una candidates, then say you go to people them one you go like you go according to them you go play music na net they not tell the chief that na one, and because of that problem may happen, then self accuse una own candidate, then say you go to talks them, then go to acid for people them. So what do you go say about that allegations there?
When APC then they make any allegations, then they back them up with the evidence. When we say that they do roadblocks, we show videos of the roadblocks. When we say they throw away acid by people there, we show evidence of APC people that throw away acid back. May they show we the SLPP people who they throw away acid back. May they show we the video we say APC man there go cause noise and then a net.
Absolutely. I mean, the need for making them think they are evidential.
Exactly.
I want to take you back to the sitting minister, Dr. Conteh, where Sekou John just mentioned just now. And I think that you mentioned in terms of waiting happening at the village and the response from the minister. I've got a tweet here. Unfortunately, I can't play live now. We can't play live now the tape. But the minister was to respond. While I'm aware that the villagers were angry because some of their members, including the village chief, were violently attacked, including the use of acid on villagers, where I believe Sena you they talk about, and that has not been made available. Are you guys launching a counter how you call them investigations? We're not official, of course, but on our own account for present to the police. Are you actively involved in this case? Because this is serious.
We lawyers then. We don't send lawyers that we do matter. We don't make the representations at the court. We don't ask for the bill. They don't agree. And this don't continue. The same thing happened at Bond. Again, the people that wouldn't damage na Bond. We don't carry them at Freetown. We carry them go to the UN. They meet with the human rights officer, the United Nations. They meet with some of the ambassadors them of the international community because we go there for a meeting. We present tangible evidence. The same thing happened above. We see Katisco, Nakene more than damage. We see the chairman for constituency 79 more than damage. See the chairman for constituency 85 more than damage. We get the evidence. We say, may show we would that from the SLPP, anybody from the APC attack. Nothing.
So, Doc, this is what I wanted to say as well, because
each time when they unleash mayhem on the APC, then they go make some counter report that the police, and sadly, when the policeman then come, not the one they will get evidence, then they stand, then they support to, then they will not get evidence, now the directive, then they take. That make the other day, I tell the policeman and say, then get an obligation for protect every Sierra Leonean. Then get a responsibility for respect the rule of law, for respect the constitution. They don't serve one political party or one master. Then they for serve all Sierra Leoneans. And I say, any policeman when they obey unlawful orders will be held singularly responsible for every illegal act we indulge in. And definitely the lives of people there where they don't slaughter as a result of this type of actions, their lives will never go in vain. God be our helper.
So anyway, back to that same subject matter day. Obviously, the video, which the footage is clear, and there is even more. And some of the other incidents, the way you don't mention, it shows that these incidents are not isolated. They look very coordinated, from some higher level. I can say that for sure, because that video there is self-incriminating in itself. But the honorable minister is say that he's a staunch member, and I'm quoting, he's a staunch member of the ruling Sierra Leone People's Party. He believes in a free, credible, and peaceful electoral process. Because it was the process that was being affected by that video day, in which there is a pattern, an imagined pattern. And I continue, that allows a level playing field for everyone. Two things quickly. A, do you believe the words of the minister? And I'm not asking you a yes or no question, Doc. And Dana, one. Secondly, you are on record, both on this platform and other platforms, that every vote and every voter of yours will be protected. But what you just say just now, even though that is in accordance with the law, and anything what they say, and then they ask for you know taking action against the law, something extrajudicial, no. But whose guarantee where you expect you people them, you voters them, where you don't promise it, we will protect the votes. But now you're talking about a post-process, talking to the police who are responsible to protect the electorates. Say anybody will harm the people, we will take action, a future tense. That is if.
For the cases them where they go on right now, waiting the minister say media, of course, is far from the truth. You know, they believe in propaganda, and propaganda not the cutter, you know, they work. Now that they rely on. The facts are very different. Everything they do, they suggest say they're not in for a level playing field, they're not in for a peaceful election, not in for a free and fair election. And that we did against that. We, for all of these cases, we don't report to the PPRC, when are the regulatory body. We don't report to the ECS when they conduct the elections. We don't report to the police, and we don't report to the international community. We don't make legal representations for all the people there, and we document all the evidence. I tell you, say, for now, we are exhausting all our options. But we are exhausting all the legal remedies we are available. But all options are always on the table. But with the way we options and with the respond as and when necessary. But one thing we are the state again, this time we are going to defend the votes of our people. And nobody will steal victory from the APC, and we accept them.
Okay,
we don't accept any stolen election this time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Conteh. Fambulem still at the, like I just want to remind Una say, we get Dr. Richard Conteh and he explain to Una waiting they actually happen in Sierra Leone. I'll take you to Kenema now. We see we Una come out, they say na Una yonde, Una for, well, get Una campaign that did it, but we ended up for Yerise, then attack Una supporters them. We see some pictures them where people they wound. And but earlier on, we also see police them say they intercept some Una marshals them, they arrest somebody who in a APC sheriff, they say they arrest her with pistol. But later again, we see now some newspaper the way them like assemble some guns, then some man they say na this, but actually the police report they say they arrest her with pistol and some batons them. So why Una supporter them like for work out such things, and especially in this situation where they happen at Salon?
Like I state in the first place, the first part of what you say.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not exactly what we talk about. We don't go to a meeting organized by PPRC and ECSL, we don't go ballot. Every political party gets a own day where they campaign. The SLPP, they campaign freely in the areas described as strongholds of the SLPP. Then they can right inside McKinney. Then they parade all the streets. No, at no point they stop them from. At no point did anybody pose any hindrance. All man they go about in business, we left them and they do their own business. No problem. Then they go to Poloko, same. Then they go all over Tonkolili, same. No sign. But when we go na Kenema, the police, then they block we, then they send the SLPP talks, they can attack we, they use batons, knives, cutlasses, they harm people there. No arrests. If they even want for arrest, then go find APC posse for arrest. They come back Nabo, same pattern. Go na Mongo, same pattern. And waiting, I find most disturbing, we make I send that message to the police. Now, where it is like the APC is now coming against the Sierra Leone police. The Sierra Leone police, they present themselves as a vanguard when they fight on behalf of the SLPP. And I don't be think say that is within our expectation of the Sierra Leone police when I force for good. The expectation now that they for keep the peace and therefore ensure say they enforce within PPRC, ECSL, or the country or the government don't agree upon. So if you don't say this party now for campaign today, they have the schedule, therefore make sure say they do one unhindered. Sadly, when all of these things they happen na Bo, for example, the head of state was in Bo, was in the vicinity. And I believe say it be supposed for them play a part for try for ensure that that kind of not happen. You know, and we believe say if you have done a very good job, as they claim, for them do a very good job in these 5 years, they need not be desperate. May they sell the credentials, may they sell the record, and the people that go buy their record, and the people that will go vote for them massively, you know, and they go with landslide because they've done so well. They don't need for panic. If they've done so well, they don't need for panic. They will go vote for them. If, on the other hand, they not do so well, no amount of intimidation will stop the people of Sierra Leone from voting them out. And we in the APC believe, say, the people of Sierra Leone will do just that.
Okay, thank you so much. So, explain to we back what happened na Kono today.
What happened na Kono again, same way, today na the day where APC for rally na Kono. We people then go na Kono for the usual rally. The policeman then begin shoot tear gas. They begin restrict the party. Una for go na ya, una not for go na ya. Those types of restrictions. That caused the problem. But we leader, una already in tweets, it tell the AP supporters, may they not react, may they stay calm. Even as they continue for attack we, continue for provoke we, continue for stir trouble. It tell them may they calm down. But as I say, that is the posture where the leadership of the APC don't take all this while. But I tell you, it is becoming too much. And my fear is that it might get to a point when the people might start pushing us aside and saying, we've had enough. You can't defend us. We'll defend ourselves.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll take you again to Kenema because, again, like, then alleged say, una supporter them pass na the SLPP office, una the cause, then the provoke. So, how true is that statement?
Luckily, just day before yesterday, when at the day after the Kenema incident, we get a meeting of the political parties liaison committee. The head of PPR, the representative from PPRC, make a report on the performance of political parties, and he states say no party, no the cause. The rallies have been going on peacefully. So I don't know what they talk about. Again, that's what they say. May they just produce the video. You know, in this day and age, all man get telephone. All man don't turn photographer. If they say APC, they pass by the SLP party office, as APC, they cause, may they produce a video who say the APC man, they pass by the SLP party office that they cause. They just produce them. What actually happens is that they even allow the APC there for worker. SLP they work freely. They get them bikes there with the umbrella there. They get them t-shirts there where they pay people there for wear. And give them money for me they wear. They get they use that. Nobody cares. People they wear that t-shirt that they pass the McKinney. Nobody know they attack anybody. But if anybody wear red clothes, It passed Nabo, they hold a brutalize her. Then kind of go back to the police. They say this man can attack you. They take a. This has to stop. This really, really has to stop. And I think say the incumbent government and then get a responsibility for ensure say there's law and order. And then get a responsibility for ensure say there's a level playing field. And then get a responsibility for ensure say there is peace. And if these types of things they continue to happen, now they're supposed for nip them in the board and ensure say not escalate.
Okay,
and not believe say using propaganda or trying to condone it because they feel say they in their interest is not helpful.
Okay, thank you
so much.
It becomes counterproductive. Thank you so much. Again, answer me other question regarding to members them we members of the marshals we then say they arrest with pistol and some they say weapons. So what do you go say about that? And then why should your supporters or members of marshals work out denting in the country?
Now an allegation and not get proof. Now an allegation. And we don't get several instances where SLPP don't come up with all types of allegations against APC people. This might just be one of such. So let we allow the investigation to go through and let we see what will be the outcome. And also, I hope so, and I also know say this country, not to everybody where they carry a pistol illegal. Because government they issue license for pistol. So which means you can do them. If also, just because I get cutlass, I'm a matoka, not mean say I use it for go fet. We are farmers. If I intend for go na bush from this trip, I go, I see they sell cutlass, we fine and it cheap. I they buy them because where I go to my village, I get for go use them for brush, me farm.
Yeah, but that now if you go to a village, not to for go campaign.
Well, I don't know about that. I just talk say just because you see my cutlass inside me matoka not mean say I use it for go fet.
Okay,
But as I said, the issue what they mentioned, it's under investigation.
Okay,
let me not speculate.
Let
me wait for the outcome of the investigation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Conteh. Now you don't catalog incidents there where police did not act. You don't catalog issues starting from Pujon District, Kenema, Kono, and I believe say Mongo back, the same thing happened. People and go there run away. So and police not do nothing now. Pujon they not arrest anybody. So what's guarantee you get for your supporter then say, well, the APC go able to protect them? Are you really capable of protecting your supporters?
That is precisely what I'm saying. And that's my wildest fear. Make it not get to the point where the people then will reach the conclusion for say, if we leaders do not able to protect, we will protect ourselves. Okay. And if we get to that point, members of the APC might just have the capacity to protect themselves. And if they get to the point where they decide to protect themselves, it could be chaos in this country. And at that, we as leaders of the APC don't want. But like you say, if they gradually get to the point where it will be clear that we're not able to protect them against the onslaught of the thugs of the SLPP and the police. And if that happens, then the people might just decide to protect themselves. And that will be terrible.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, today on the 9th of June, 2023, we are having a conversation with Dr. Richard Conteh. And these are serious matters of state. This is about the future of the country, both in the now and the then. And this is very serious. And we will continue with this. And Dr. Conteh will come back in the second half of the program. If you don't mind, I want to take you back to the real key issue of this conversation. We border around this disaggregated list and some security issues them around them. Family, una stay tuned. This is the TNN TV Media Empire. We get about 170 or 165 they watch live. We need for double that number. This is important. Please help for share. And don't touch that dial. We'll come back more from the then and now.
Yes.
Far and wide. And thank you now for listening to this broadcast. Dr. Conteh, sir, not very many days ago, a colleague of yours, a senior operative within the party, a man we know a thing or two, if not very much more about the law, he put out a tweet and they talk about no other person but Ade Macaulay. He said, we the people will not allow Mohammed Conteh and the ECSL, obviously, and their paymasters, these are very strong words and more, to take us to the slaughterhouse with our eyes blindfolded. ECSL, in 3 weeks to elections, has refused to publish the voter register, refused to show us who developed the tally software, refused to have the tally software tested in the presence of all political parties, refused to tell us the vendor that is printing the ballot papers, and refusing to have the ESL election IT management system audited. He went on further for say, Mohammed Conteh should know that this refusal to be transparent on key election management issues will lead us to only one destination: chaos, and we, the people of this country, will hold him fully accountable. He ended by saying, we are raising these concerns publicly for posterity. Does this sentiment of Ade Macaulay, a colleague of yours, resonate with you? Was he speaking as an individual, or is this a party position?
I share the sentiments where you express. Now, in opinion, you express, but me share the sentiments where you express because they are factual.
Okay, so going further into this, there were reasonable questions where you answer, and you guys in a public setting and a party position has also made clarion calls for them position there, even if not exact. But the refusal to show who developed the tally software, these are security issues. And I'm sure the All People's Congress Opposition Party and other opposition parties would like to know. And to have the software tested. The point why they try for making in terms of the concerns they are raised by Ade Macaulay is, we know that anything with digitalized, Doc, can be hacked. It can be hacked. Hence the concern of the former ACC boss. Have you done anything in that regard? From then demands there or then requests there where Ade Macaulay put for address the issue there? Any of these issues were addressed by the ECSL before the list was presented or after the list was presented?
All the concerns where Ade Macaulay raised in that tweet, now concerns where the APC don't raise to the ECSL, both in writing and during meetings of the political parties liaison committee, which are me, they represent the party, and Adi, now also one of the APC members that we represent. So I make I tell you, say, wait till it say they resonate with me, because it they reflect positions where the party don't express both in writing and, you know, SLPP, ECSL, they get a pattern of refusing to follow due process. It might surprise you to know that right now we don't take them to court. Section 92(2) of the Public Elections Act states say, therefore do district level certification in the office of the district elections officer, the elections manager. That's the audit one. Then they go do at the regional office. That for that moment where the DEM did at the regional office, that office they could become in office. And so now they go do. They get a pattern for flout the constitution. They not they follow due process. They get that pattern there. We don't, as they say, we want get access to the back end of the software. They don't agree. We don't, in the last interview what we do, I tell you, say, now 6, I tell you, say, if we do, they're not well, we know, but we know now for the companies that we bid, now 5 companies that are then bid for the printing of the materials. And I've been telling now in the last interview for say that the South African company now win the bid. And the South African company in bid price, with the states by the bid, that 3,316,228 dollars 78 cents. 9 them bid, but waiting ECSL they put by the award letter $3.9 million. Now I ask, who say the 600,000 come out? They give them bonus. Would I get for ITA? That's 600,000. And I don't confirm, say yes, indeed, that the South African company, they give because on Wednesday, when we get the PPLC meeting, one of the commissioners, they announced to we say, if they go South Africa, for go inspect the material the way they don't print. So it means the South African company now win the bid. So but the South African company we only ask for 3.3 million. But in the letter,
Okay, I think Doc is frozen there. And just a quick reminder, Fambulem, we are having conversation with Dr. Richard Conteh, and in studio with me is Sekou John Barry, and we are posing questions of concern and necessity to a very important guest such as Dr. Richard Conteh, who is at the forefront on the opposition side of things. As we speak, there are many allegations being traded between both sides, and these allegations need to be verified. We need for hearing more from the police, but individuals are taking the responsibility of disseminating fake information. Don't be carried away by those fake information, because then get a tendency for inflame an already volatile situation. We ourselves have to be responsible. If you don't understand something, not reshare them. Okay, Sekou John, you get any perspective before Dr. Conteh join? I've been get one final question before me they left you and now on the program. Unfortunately, we lost them briefly.
Yeah, okay, yeah, thank you so much. Like you say earlier on, these are very important issues. And again, like what you need to say no more is Sierra Leoneans them deserve like forget, then Sierra Leoneans then don't suffer a lot, then don't sacrifice a lot for get democracy. If you remember, after the war, election, vote, peace after election or election after peace, which Sierra Leoneans then don't pay heavily for this democracy. Yeah. So I think say it is incumbent on every government where they in power, and including the opposition members, for make sure that we get democracy, we get peace, Nasalu, make the peace continue. But it is more heavy on the government, since now then power, now then they control every machinery in the country. So they're supposed to ensure that we get free, fair, and credible and acceptable results. Because again, I've been do an article on this ECSL, the election boss. I believe say he gets responsibility. Sierra Leone right now, the destiny, everything they na the chief electoral commissioner in hand. He gets a responsibility. He gets a responsibility for ensure that people them desire, what in them wants, it reflects like on the result we get for come out. I think say the NEC commissioner get a huge responsibility, where I believe say if for discharge without for favoring any one party. He then appoint and there for conduct these elections. Well, I know they say he won't play game or anything, but waiting I just want for remind them say he gets a huge responsibility. So in actions or inactions get an impact where they create now the lives of Sierra Leoneans, and in action and inaction get something for do with the continued peace and tranquility in the country. So therefore, may advise Soram and all the stakeholders, including the opposition ruling party, them need for work together, and the need for conduct a free and fair election. Well, some man go argue say, well, we will not get free and fair election around the world or something. But again, we not forget to learn from bad examples. We don't see.
Okay.
Yeah, so now that's why they say we need for really like the man need for discharging your own responsibility, and then with the view that Sierra Leone, the peace and tranquility for continue.
Absolutely. And Doctor, I know say you've been there in mid-flow where we lost you, but okay, we don't lost him again. When he come back, okay, he's back. He's back. Okay, like Sekou John Mini say, I mean, good reflection, and it's time for also for inflection. Dr. Conteh is back. Let me see whether we're able for Brian come back. Doc, you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now.
Okay, it's just a quick one. I'm your last take on this, and I'm leaving the platform to you and Sekou. But my question here, sir, or sentiment largely, but I believe Sekou will end with a question. It come in two parts. Normally, me questioning can be compounded. I understand that the party they in a precarious situation in terms of options than where they need for take. Just as you have exhibited, there has to be a degree of preservation. There has to be a degree of statesmanship. There has to be a degree of calm and measured temperament as at this time, because to be honest, the situation is volatile. It's just the wait, for it's like a tinderbox. Let's be, straightforward about that. And it's just the wait for that catalyst day. And I think say 9 people like you, they try to avoid. I mean, these are my sentiments that they express. 2 things, Doc. One is on the disaggregated list. From all which you don't talk and which you self don't talk, there is no faith in the system from which you don't express, none at all. My question again on the disaggregated list is, have you guys taken any action whatsoever for mitigate the anomalies, the wrong entries, the fictitious entries into this data, which some of them you've identified, and owing to the fact that any data, it can be harnessed, you can turn a bomb. Any digitalized form of tech in a thing where you can hack and input another your own data where you want, both in cahoot with the organizers or the people that will develop the software, or even on your own with other experts. Now, security measures have been taken. For example, the least way then give una. How una they verify that? Then just take and give una, because I talk from a perspective of a report writing. If I was going through something like that, when would they exchange documents that will have been signed, probably digitally signed by both sides? So my own copy what I get, there's a guarantee say that copy where you give me, now the same copy now you get. For Bambaile, you copy no change, or my own copy no change. Have you guys done that? And my final question to you, Doc, sorry, too long, but a short answer. The final question to you is, yes, there is difficulties in terms of your position. You cannot boycott. You've emphasized that. And there are a lot of people who will express that same sentiment. If you were to boycott the party, they go into election, you can go to court. And I think some people will express that now. Is there anywhere in the Constitution which says that if a certain number of electorates then turn up, I mean less than the threshold, so you do turn up, but there is less than the required number, then there will have to be like a runoff or the cancellation or postponement of the election. That's all I have to say, Doc, and many thanks, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. In terms of the verification of the data with Ngiwi, that process is ongoing. And we will come to now later with the outcome of that verification. And we, in my interview yesterday, promised ECSL to say, when the party don't conclude in process, we go get back to them in writing, and we'll get back to the public through the media on we own assessments. So waiting, I don't state so far now, we preliminary assessments are compounded by the fact say them being get for withdraw their own data and say that they will give you a new one. And by just looking at the final totals in the document, we find out, say, the totals of what we then give it today is more than the total of the old one. Where for me, go only suggesting I add names. We say then go add the names that the Angry Sabi. And 2, it don't also confirm, say, they not get a credible database. Because this, they're supposed to forget the database, not just for go copy. from that database. That the numbers that they change, So for me, as a layperson, it speaks volumes. And we appeal say this now a very serious issue of concern.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Richard Conteh and Fambulem. We dey ask una for share the links to as many people as possible. Dr. Conteh, we dey see also, some, whether we can call it cracks between the APC, and then, or you dey see some people there, we know say some people are disenchanted, they are not happy. Would not don't do anything for bring the party together?
I think, say, if you see me sit down here today, the campaign for Dr. Samura Kamara, the talk for the APC, you for don't know, say, now the product of attempts where they don't make for bring the party together. Has the party succeeded in bringing everybody on board? No. Is the party still working on that? Yes. Now, work in progress. We will continue for engage everybody, and we desire for make we get everybody on board, because we in the APC, we are a family, and we believe that now only when we all work together as a united force, now we can enhance and deepen the chances for win.
Okay, thank you so much. And the other question, you sound confident, and I believe, I don't like a lot of APC the way you talk with them, then they tell you, say, listen, this one would win. But at the same time, yesterday we see in Agendema, we see the SLPP, they say about, I think, over 800 people when APC members, they say they cross over. And today back, we see now, we see pictures them back of videos where a lot of people wear red, then say, then come for crossover. So how, because like the way the thing they happen is like APC, then they cross over to the SLPP. So what I take on then stuff then there?
I don't answer this same question last week or on Tuesday.
Okay.
And waiting a bit that don't read too much into these defections. These people wait today, then SLPP, tomorrow then APC. You can never be too sure that they are genuine. Plenty man there, me know. I get personal friends we say, oh man, the ground dry, we have to go collect. Oh man, the man there from Bo, as you go declare so for SLPP, they give 26,000. We are 26 million. In fact, the first day when they go talk with one of we councillor there, we for go Nabo, we don't declare today for SLPP. The first day they want the whole meeting with her. We say, we sign the letter for say they go, they get 15 million. Today they don't add the money, they don't get 2 bikes. What we challenge in our Kenema, then buy for a matoka, then get 3 bikes, then get money. You know, now money that they use, we don't know go for that. In this age, where people they barely get waiting for it, then they break out money, go hold on. So man, then they want for protect their property. And because they want to protect their property, then they go declare for SLPP. When they declare for SLPP, even if whatever case they been get, they free them. We know those people. But these big guns where they say they don't declare for SLPP, that's happened. Then do have for protect their case there. Where they get. It's not genuine. Deep down inside, then a different story. They get. So I'm not moved. If you get, all man know the character of some of these people. So because they want for selfishness, they don't mind for sacrifice their integrity just for whatever. So they do these things. So whilst it is good, but at the same time, we get people there of impeccable character, where not they do it because they get property where they protect. Post like Charles Magai, you don't get any legal impediment. Now free choice. Post like Dennis Bright, you don't get any legal worry. Now free choice. Post like Femi Claudius Cole, you don't get any legal thing where they worry about. Post like PS of NGC, they don't get anything where they worry about. These are credible people where they put Sierra Leone first. And these are people who get large followings and they are coming over. And even among the young people, the way they can join, there are some way that is genuinely out of love, because in we own case, we're not going to forgive them. So anybody where you see come on SLPP where they shave money, it can't APC. It means the person is genuine. It is real. But anybody who come on go take green clothes, say today me na SLPP, that's survival. That's survival. You know what I mean? That's it. But they don't do we am under APC. When an Escoromabi they go na Kaila, if you see crowd, then SLPP there. If you see crowd, then they can't pull close. All the SLPP ministers that we can declare for APC, what we can make the ministers inside APC, they all don't go back. So just shows say they were opportunists, they lack integrity, and if me be the SLPP, I don't trust those type of people.
Okay.
That fear weather politicians.
Okay,
so
thank you so much.
Let us. We in the APC we believe say we track record we speak for we. We believe say the people of Sierra Leone they objectively assess the two parties and the most viable option where they will take at the APC.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Richard Conteh. At least you don't make really effort for answer the questions who we don't pose to you. Some question I know like you can, well, I don't know whether you can uncomfortable or it can jolt you out of your complacency, you know, but this like we need for engage you like on a fair basis and then for enlighten people them. So now that make we can ask some well maybe critical questions for make people the public know. Now we don't see like them people here where you say they're not credible. We don't see people like the former vice president and
Me
others.
not call them.
No, yeah, me
Me
not
not call
yeah,
them.
yeah. So
Another I travel.
okay, I don't say you travel. So what are they try for say? We don't see people them way don't cross over to the SLPP. Then they talk bad things about what mean they happen at the APC. But like you rightly say, some of them they do them for protect what in them we don't get or the cases or you know for free from cases. Now, if we now win, them people they are una go ready for accept them if they tell una say we been fear for security make we left una.
APC na Kumra party.
Mm-hmm.
APC na party ready for embrace everybody. I believe say if anybody want for can join the APC, if free for can join the APC. But of course, we go to approach them now with one eye closed. We're not decide to see eye again. Naturally, because of the experience we don't get, we go embrace them more. But will they go to bed with them? Will they left one eye open?
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Dr. Conteh, a lot of Sierra Leoneans again, like they way they tell we say, okay, they agree, they accept, say, right now things are not easy at all, na Sierra Leone. But you dey see some man, they really like they talk, they feel say if you not there, they like who they are. Sometimes and they create some doubt in the minds of you who not there. So you go feel say, okay, the one the way they complain, not to true than they talk. But we get other set of people where they say, okay, now you know what, we don't try APC, then say no to Saint. Just like the SLPP. So we are now fed up, we are now caught up, like in making difficult decisions. So some man say that we don't talk with some people the way say they not trust both APC and SLPP because APC not to Saint as well. Who's guarantee you they give Sierra Leoneans them? Like the one then one the way they raise concern say Una and the SLPP are the same for failed Sierra Leoneans. Who's guarantee Una go give Dande and say no, well, this set of APC, we go make it different, especially when most of Una like you, so you don't serve in the past government and most of Una been done serve. So who's different Una get for can make? We Una no go disappoint Sierra Leoneans.
Thank you very much. I like this question. I want for start for state say nobody is a saint. Nobody is perfect. I mean, one person can always talk, say, when you're there in governance, many times you get for use your discretion. And whenever you use your discretion, depending on whether they can mark your paper, if you're a mama mate, they can mark your paper, you're in trouble. Sometimes if you mark your paper, you will be fine. Okay? But that said, when we talk about a government not doing the right thing, would they get indicators? Let me look at corruption. Never in the history, waiting SLPP, the audit report say they lost in 1 year. More than waiting, they say APC not account for in 10 years. Never in the history of Sierra Leone, they don't ever investigate the office of the president and then find out, say, they falsify hotel receipt. This has never happened. For me, they falsify hotel receipt. And now we'll talk about the other things that where the Auditor General unraveled. In fact, now under the APC, now we make a rule that every year we publish the Auditor General's report and we take them to the Public Accounts Committee in the Parliament for scrutiny. We make them public, and the ACC they act on them. Now under APC that happened. Before that, it not be they happen. And when we start to do that, the Auditor General has always been very critical. We even go to the extent that on the Ebola money, we allow for a forensic audit real time whilst they were still implementing. We did an audit. The Auditor General came up with the recommendations and findings. We act on them. We not ever at any point frown at the Auditor General, sack him because he writes a report critical of government. Rather, we take steps for address the recommendations. This government, when the Auditor General writes a report, we're critical of them. Instead of address the issues, they decide for sack, for cover up. And now the new person they put today, now they even audit the office of the president. It is beyond reproach. They not the audit office of the first lady again. It is beyond reproach. Free day. When you can look at how they don't manage the economy, as bad as we were under APC, we left one bag rest to under 200,000. As good as they are in the SLPP, one bag rest now 800,000 they go now. As bad as APC was, the exchange rate, the loan to the dollar was around 7,000. We hand over to them. Now it is 2.4 thousand, 2,400. A liter of fuel that be 6,500 what we hand over to them. Now 21,500. You see, and you can take them from bread, from pepper, from yabas, from Maggi, every single commodity. You know, I like the way we want. I believe this is there. You know, if you go to school, now going to do. He say, from where he born, one day he not see we say Guinea money better pass Salon money. And now we get the situation we say the Guinea money, it don't double Salon money. Where you go with 1,000 or 1 million leons na Guinea, you want save Guinean franc, they give you 400 or even 300. If you're lucky, they'll give 400. If you're not lucky, they give 300. If I the new money, you can go at 300. If the old money, you can go at 400. This is how bad things have come. And then when you pull down the aside, you come to human rights. Never in the history of APC we don't get a situation wherein for ordinary generator, a man that can come into a city as if they do go to war against rebels and can unleash live bullets on defenseless civilians and kill at least 6 both case, no investigation, no arrests. People are waiting in detention na Pademba. They say because they strike, then go, then kill. They admit saying that 30 people then kill. But just after that, we see they say they go bury destitute people. Clearly, reports have it that the number the way they actually kill it far exceed that. So the level of human rights will not take place, unprecedented. So the things where don't happen under this administration are unprecedented in the political history of Sierra Leone. And that makes the difference between the eight and the SLPP. Now let's come to governance. Never in the history of Sierra Leone, you don't get a situation where in one office, in one day, then they sack 257 people. Like how it happened at Statistics Sierra Leone. And then they issue sack letter, like where the headmaster, the shape report card at the end of term in a primary school. That has never happened. State House, in one day, they sack 126 people. NRA, NASIT, and NAXA, same pattern. Then just massive sackings. And the reason for the sack, not just because of your tribe, your surname, or what they allege like political affiliation. These types of criteria have never been a basis for person for loss in job that's already before. So these types of actions are unprecedented. And then the way in which the injustice they happen now, the way the police that they behave, the way that they go after the opposition. In fact, APC, even when we come for sensitization for Ebola, we give money to Madabio. May go sensitize. We get a letter for me to get a free passage. We knew it was in the opposition, but we believe that the opposition is part of governance. So therefore, if there's a national issue, we involve them. We not ever may office the government every Friday. Members of the SLPP they come to me when they can't joke. We play and laugh. Then they come visit me every Friday. We had a very healthy
how you go describe una relationship now with, let's say, at that level, Dave, una and the
no, sadly now, even we best of friends, then they afraid for can't close, but they not sack them. It's sorry, even we best of friends, then they afraid for can't, be like me so now Jala study. 60% of them are my college mates or my students. But they're afraid for can't close. For fear they will sack. That's how bad things have become. I mean, people are even afraid for make you call them. Hey, they are not calling me. If they are calling me, they tap my phone, then I will lose my job. I mean, this not ever happened in the history of Sierra Leone. As because of these types of things, we don't become very rampant inside Sierra Leone dialect today. Now make all man don't say enough is enough for one change. And then believe say that APC then go bring about that change. And therefore they're ready for elect president to be Dr. Samura Matugutin Kamara. So that he go come back with the experience.
Okay.
Where he gets for he will redeem this country.
Okay, Dr. Richard Conteh, thank you so much for your effort and then your time where you don't spare. I will not say you don't late to Nade and WISSF Naya, you don't late, but because of national service, and I believe say you do this and then WISSF ready for do this, but we not get much time again. But again, like a lot of people, like critics of Dr. Samura Kamara, go argue say, that man don't dey na the finance, he don't work for over 30 years or so. So he was part of the problem. So how una think say Dr. Samura go can make change? Voting he get anything we go offer effectively than for the way deliver for the past years?
At least Dr. Samura has not been unemployed for 22 years. He has been working and he has been gaining experience, and he gets a track record of delivery and performance. He also gets a track record of sporting talents. I've been dealt at the UN, we'll go with the UN international community recently. And in the way they talk, he said most of these guys within our finance today are employed in our finance. So it's sports talents. He employed them, he nurtured, they trained, they deserve today. And they are maybe among the better ones inside this government. So, and that is what a leader should do. A leader is somebody where they get work done through others. You don't need to do it yourself. So we confidence because of the experience with Dr. Samura don't get. Because of his background, he married a Mende woman. He goes school in the south. He can talk Mende. And he gets so many friends all over the country. And he understands the workings of government. He would therefore able to put together the right type of team where we able quickly understand the issues, understand what need for be done, and that within a record time. I mean, if you read we One Nation Manifesto, it's clear for say the priority where we get as APC for unite this country, for heal the wounds, for close the divide, because we not believe say that they good for this country. The APC get a track record of ensuring that we did together as a country and give every citizen an equal and unfettered opportunity for actualizing potentials. After we don't do that, we don't bring everybody back on board and almost begin be part of the process, then we go fix the economy. And we get know what it means for fix the economy. After we don't fix the economy, they'll begin address the ancillary issues where all will complement the process, all will contribute towards the overall redemption of this country. And we believe, say, we can do it within the shortest possible time because we get the experience and we get the goodwill for Duam, and we anchor them on the fact, say, we will create a conducive atmosphere for the private sector for flourish, because there will be peace, there will be stability, and we will get an incentive regime. We've got attract the private sector for come and invest. And when they come, they invest, they make money, then go employ more and more people, so that increasingly we will shift the burden from the government to the private sector for employment. We could also rationalize the public sector and make savings from that and use that savings for support youth entrepreneurial development. Because the youths there, the one that will get expertise, one go into entrepreneurial development, we for support them. The one that all want to go to school, we offer scholarships to them, so that never again under the APC will a student drop out of a public university because in papa, mama, or uncle or whatever not able to pay fees. Government will ensure say we do that, then we go get them for make a commitment for say then go serve the country. Because we believe say that so things they get for happen. We go improve upon education, upon health, and we go look at virgin areas where this country give benefit for like tourism. Now a virgin area, we're untapped with touristic potentials as a country. They far exceed the Gambia or Ghana or any other country, the Caribbean even. So we go invest in those areas, very little investments, but with tremendous benefits when it comes to the country.
So critics go ask you all this. Now una get the fantastic ideas, but una the same people that we've been served in the past. Why una not be really create this like positive impact or great impact in that
Yes,
area?
we did. Yes,
Okay.
we did. Yes, we did. You know the condition of the roads before APC came to power. You know how we left the roads. We inherit less than 10 megawatts of power. By the time we left, government will get over 500 to 700 megawatts of power. We inherit less than 100 beds space in the hospitals. We left with over 1,000 bed spaces in the health sector. We introduced the free health care for lactating mothers, children under 5 and the aged. We get a system in the education where ensure say everybody will go university. Government they pay over 80% of the fees for everybody plus. We be the give grants in aid to plenty. All the physically challenged get automatic scholarship. All the women where they go study in the sciences, they get automatic scholarship. We did all of these things. And we respond. We even then at the verge for introduce a health insurance scheme, where we for don't actually solve the problem with poverty, not for be ever be an impediment again for anybody to get access to quality health care. These things were in place. We give the ACC teeth for bet. We inherit from the SLPP and ACC, we not the prosecute. We don't get the power to prosecute. But we believe, say, we forget an ACC, we're independent, we get power to prosecute, and if we end up for bet, we, as members of the APC, so be it, because we believe for lead by example. I will not believe for condone the wrong thing. That is the APC. An APC that is there for the people, that cares for the people, that delivers for the people. And we see that even with Ebola, one of the worst diseases, where they now for over 2 years, but throughout the 2 years, not a single month where we not pay every single worker. The health sector, we increase their salaries by over 300%. The university, we increase their salaries by over 400%. Teachers, we increase their salaries in like manner. We raise the minimum wage. We do things will not ever happen in the political history of Sierra Leone. But more importantly, we create a level playing field for every Sierra Leonean for come and be a part of the football match and take part.
Okay,
and
thank
make
you.
Sierra Leone a lovely place for everybody. That is the APC where they present back to the people for where they vote for we.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Richard Conteh. But I will still pose another question. Where una opponent them, like especially the SLPP, then say, well, despite all the nice thing the way you don't talk about, the fantastic thing the way you say una don't do, but una left the country in austerity. What you go tell the one the way they talk so?
You see, people that they misunderstand this whole thing. We not left austerity. Mm-hmm. We employ austerity measures for deal with the economic situation we find ourselves in.
Okay. And
waiting austerity simply means that you don't spend what you have. You earn £5,000.
Yes, sir. I want really let you repeat this one because you've been the break up just now. This is a very important way. I see from observation, I see argument between politicians and their supporters. So one day you explain what in this austerity and then what austerity measures.
That is good for now.
Mm-hmm.
I say you earn £5,000 a month, but your total expenditure in the month now £10,000. So you get cost for trust £5,000 for make you survive for the 1 month. The next month come back, you spend back 10,000, you trust back. So you are not in debt 10,000. You will continue that way there, or you go sit down and look wait make a review my lifestyle. I get 3 cars where I insure. But really now 1 car I use at a time. So maybe make a shut down the insurance for the 2 cars and only insure 1 car by that and get a savings on that. Maybe me a person where they go eat outside. So maybe if I go eat outside every day of the week, maybe make a reduce that to only weekends. So I go not save on that. I go to cook now. I be the cook plazas every day. So maybe now make I begin do 2 days plazas or 3 days plazas instead of everyday plazas. So waiting the austerity really mean now saying every expenditure will not extremely necessary for incur, let we forgo up. And only prioritize those expenditures were extremely necessary, where you cannot do without. Expenditure on health, expenditure on water supply, expenditure on energy, when are essential things where somebody need for everyday living. Expenditures on salaries. So we prioritize those things. Every other thing we're not too critical, we cut them down. That is what I would call prudent fiscal discipline. And that is what we called or people call austerity. These are simply measures where the government be need for take in response to the negative impact of Ebola. You know, say we also that because of Dr. Samura's excellent skills in managing the economy, we get very experienced financial secretary in the person of somebody. Even where we in, as we come into governance, now we get the international financial crisis. You know, after World Bank collapsed in America and they tried to get over it. But they introduced a cash budget where they assure say we the only spend waiting we generate. I was in finance at the time as the first deputy minister, together with Momodu Kabo and Dr. Samora. We introduced a cash budget that we the only spend waiting we get. And we prioritize certain things where basic salaries and essential costs. So we able to manage the economy till we stabilize. And then when we get the boom in 2011, in the mining sector, 2012, we can see how the economy rise to Sierra Leone becoming one of the fastest growing economies in the world. And you will see, say, in 2011, when the World Bank they released their report on the ease of doing business, Sierra Leone became the sixth fastest growing country country in terms of ease of doing business. We create an enabling environment. We create the faster commercial court. We introduce a Asikuda. We improve upon import-export processes. We bring about the one-stop shop. We basically make this country peaceful for the private sector for flourish. We also get a big, with the World Bank and the ADB, a big program for the financial sector and also for allow access to finance for the private sector, small and medium enterprises, for them also flourish. Set up the SME fund. So we get measures where we introduce, where they make sure so we cushion the negative effects of the shocks, where the external shocks will be the come, you know. Even on the fuel pricing, where the price will fluctuate, we introduce two-tier pricing formula, one for the mining companies, one for the rest of mankind, for cushion the negative effect of the fuel price on the average Sierra Leonean. We create the road fund for ensuring that we get resources available for maintain the roads and for even invest in further roads. This, now the thing they say, they think out of the box and introduce measures we believe say appropriate for meet the current situation. That is the APC way we present to the people for say, this is what we have done before. We have also had the opportunity on hindsight for Sido and see mismanagement at its best. And we don't learn lessons from that. When we come back, we'll do even better.
Okay, thank you so much. Fambul them una de listen to and watch Dr. Richard Conteh. Before we go, we'll not get much time again, but I get just few questions before we go. Now you talk about the like external shocks where like okay the Ebola caused some issue for una and then we know the prices of iron ore and then thing and day. But at the same time, we see the SFPP they talk about themselves the effect of COVID-19 and with the Russia and Ukrainian war. So how waiting are you take on themselves waiting in the gay? Shall I say as an excuse or as problem for will contribute to waiting the economic situation as alone?
Yeah, but the price of fuel, for example, the plat price don't go down. So you cannot blame Ukraine again for the price of fuel. Waiting the cause the problem price of fuel, the economy don't mix up at the hand. The exchange rate we don't spill out of control. And why that don't happen? Now pure mismanagement. They respect what they not get. Bloated wage bill. They increased the wage bill from 160 billion a month to nearly 400 billion a month, and they not get the commensurate income for matching. They introduce a tax regime where they kill the private sector. So cold storage under this country for as long as Adam and Eve can remember, it don't close down. So many other businesses they wait for the pay to government, they're closed down. Mines, they're closed down. Now they don't begin to use very fictitious contracts just to make them give the semblance, like say that they bring back investors, and that they make all types of deals where not they the interest of Sierra Leone. I mean, Gona airport, we get the most expensive airport in the world. Now, the most expensive one for flying to. Look, the Finance Act of 2023. I mean, the obnoxious. Obnoxious. How you go say, if I bring out 2 suitcases, you dey open the suitcase, if the value is past $500, I will pay for the other things there. So it means if person mistake put one great iPhone inside a bag, you get to pay for even in pants where they come to this country. How can you say that? On top of that again, any day where they pass, they pay $25 for come and go. Daylight robbery. Daylight robbery. And the people of Sierra are saying enough is enough. When we come into governance again, one of the first things we will do now for repeal the 2023 Finance Act, review them, and introduce a business-friendly act. We go ensure say we give the business sector a very attractive incentive regime where they attract them to come and invest in this country. Because not only when the private sector they come inside this country, they invest, they make money, and they go employ more people, and they go pay taxes to government, and government go use their money for expenditures. Right now, this government they also mismanage this thing that they don't get any money for do any capital investment. Now, I mean, instead of they no say they agree to neighbor they go and dig the tar where APC be done left. Go normally, they dig the tar and can't tar back. We get roads there where they don't make it. Why you go dig the tar and can't tar back? For waiting, then go to Ferry Junction. Then dig the tar for can't tar back. For waiting, go and make the roads way bad. Let go where they already made.
What about if they say, if they say, well, maybe the quality not good, then just one change them.
Quality not good. One of the best roads in Alomli. One of the best roads. Then go dig up. Well, go to the roads that are impassable. Go and finance them. Don't come and dig and redig just so they will give money to Gento to make you use that for campaign for being mayor. You don't do that.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr.
That's bad governance.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Richard Conteh. I want to take you in the provinces and I want to take you to Million Homeland, Wena Kwenedugu and Falaba district. I get issue with the water project we would have been start, but we like again, there was a point in time in the past where them be actually test the pipes them, water been they come from that Musaya axis. But all of a sudden, like again, before we had the left, we had not been commissioned, and now we don't see for the past 5 years. Now with the Yeri, then say back recently, what been the find out, then say the president, Madabi Bingo commission. So how far we have been left that project today, that water project?
I'm not going to tell you exactly how far we've been going.
Okay.
Because I'm not being part of the government again. I left the government in 2014.
Oh,
but one thing I want for state Nayana that government supposed to be continuous. When one government starts a project, a very good project like that project did, when a new government is supposed to continue. Go Lumley. APC be done start a hospital project. The money all be done there for finish them. We'll not be able to finish them under with time. We left the money for make them can finish them. You know what they do? They abandoned that project. Only God knows what to do with the money. Next to the building, then they put up a new hospital. It makes sense? Why did not first prioritize for complete that one? And then if they want to do an extension, they can do the extension. But they don't abandon that project. When they don't funded project, the money be there for that. They abandon now. I should say by now, they will not return money to the donors. They will not call for their money because the lifespan of people will expire. That is where here they describe as a very good example of the bad way to govern. So when APC, for example, we don't get this big design for the ring road, where we don't start from the airport, you go around through Cambia, you pass through Medina, you pass through Tambaka, Utamba Kilimi, Kana Kamakwe, you go up Kapompo, you go, there you go. Inside Kwenedugu, till you go Falaba, all that routes, Falaba, till they can bus down Akono, and then continue to Kailahu and round through Kenema, Kana, Bo, Kana, Moyamba, and come back. That is a ring road where APC committed to. And we don't start the process. When I see how Kabbalah roads been there before, you know, see how Kabbalah roads are there today. The idea was to keep expanding that one, do that road network. The only time where you see SLPP, they take Caterpillar, they pin another Kabbalah road, another Mongol road, and when they say election, they come. Luckily, me don't drive from Kwenadu, from Kabbalah. I go to Masofia, I go bus back na Kono and come back. So I sabi other place there. I don't go Musaya. I don't go that side. I don't go. Na two road and from Mongo for Kana Kwenadugu, na Kabbalah. All the two roads I don't use them. Okay. I don't sabi the name. I never call. So I don't traverse the whole of Kwenadugu and Kabbalah and Falaba. So I understand the issues. So we committed to those projects. We started. The framework is there. The designs are there. The templates are there. We will expect this government, if we will continue in governance, by now, all of those roads will don't complete. Look, the Makeni Madina Wura Road. We get huge benefits if we don't bring to the government. We stop them. Now, Bedembu, with the intention for continue of Madina Wura, if we don't bring huge economic benefits to this country, because Mali was ready to use Sierra Leone, the key for transshipment, for the import through Freetown, because it's shorter for where they import through Freetown and do transshipment to Mali than for import through Conakry. Huge benefits to our economy. But just because SLPP, they abandoned it because the Bombali is not a priority for them.
Okay,
look at what we have. But these are all projects where, when we come back, we go continue from whose side we've been stopped and implement all of those projects where we as a government be committed to.
Okay, thank you so much. I gave two more questions them again regarding Falaba and Kwenadugu district with the APC. We recently, where the president go there, we see the contractor say that Kabbalah Township. I they tell you about the argument where they between APC supporters and SLPP supporters. Then say the contractor say afterwards na he make that road na the Kabbalah Township, the government by then the APC government no pay up. So how true is that?
May God sorry for Alimu. May God sorry for her. I mean, answer that. You know, you don't do politics and demonstrate the highest degree of ungratefulness. Alimu is a perfect example of an ungrateful person. Same like Gentle. These guys benefited. Them because President Kouroumabi make a commitment for say we go make Sierra Leoneans that also become millionaires. So instead of always giving contracts to foreigners, we say let's start giving contracts to Sierra Leoneans. So Gento and Alimu were among those Sierra Leoneans who benefit from those. Today, that they get the audacity for talk against APC. May God sorry for them.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Conteh. And one more again, I want for you to clarify because I mean, Falaba, na me your hometown.
Mr. Gania, na me home.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much. So you know,
I do water supply day in Gania.
Okay, thank you so much. And now, we see again the same argument between APC and SLPP. The SLPP then they say APC no do nothing for Falaba. They are not talking about Kabbalah yet. They say Falaba voting una don't do this. So tell Fambul them you get the opportunity because this interview what they do so you get for reach that least person na wore or that person where they na farm. Tell them people and neighbor what in the APC don't do for Falaba.
APC, first of all, we create the district of Falaba, and we do a lot of schools, and we do a lot of education projects na Falaba before we term end. And we've been get a whole range of projects, starting with the road project, we will be done intend for start in the next don't come back into power. Unfortunately, the TV election from we, SLPP can power, they not continue from Musa we stop. That make the gap there so. But if we been get the chance for continue, because part of the reason why we actually create a new district for Falaba, that before make development reach Falaba. Because by law, in the Act, the Local Government Act of 2004, they specify the types of projects we're supposed to go with any district center. 5 years of SLPP, what have they done for Falaba? Nothing. If APC before continue, that act we believe in, even the SLPP they make the act, but we believe in that. If we don't continue and ensure we deliver to the people of Falaba which they ask for. And that is why where Samura Kamara go na Falaba, he don't promise. Again, you don't re-echo the promises where Dr. Samuel, Dr. Anas Korabe make to the people of Falaba for saying, when we come into power in a few weeks' time, we go prioritize those projects where APC be intent for Falaba, where we will not be able to implement because time left with, time between. But when we come back, we go make sure say we go back to those projects and implement it because we committed to ensuring that every part of this country get a fair share of the development cake waiting for everybody for it.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, like lastly now, people let me say, okay, whose part to build schools then na Falaba or whose roads, if you can able recall?
I'm not able. I'm not saying we do roads. We
Okay.
do a few feeder roads. I'm not able to name them all now. Okay. Because I've not been there part of the government again by that time. I've done left the government, but I know say it happened. I should say if my colleague Kaifala Marabi Denaya, he was then the finance minister. He before able to tell you more concretely where it happened. But me no more say we committed to Falaba and we demonstrate the commitment by creating the district and in the act we committed to implementing all the provisions in the act for those things. Unfortunately, by the time we create the district, time don't between and we start some projects, we do some education and health projects. Many health centers are not able to know offhand the locations and that, but I know say we do them. And when we come back, we will do more.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Richard Conteh. So, what thing you go finally tell Sierra Leoneans? Because I think I no go want to hold you for too long now. Like you don't talk a lot. What thing you go tell Sierra Leoneans? One, especially the way na supporters of the APC about their own protection, especially again the way they na the SLPP stronghold where they support the APC about their security, and then for say una they protect them vote and all over the country. What you wanna go tell una supporters them and Sierra Leoneans them finally?
So me APC fumble them all over the country to Sierra Leoneans all over the country. Let remain firm, let remain resolute, let remain committed to what the APC stand for. We know say anyhow net long, do must clean. Do go clean just now. Let will not give up. This suffering, APC they come back for can create solace, succor for we all. Let we believe in the APC, let we vote for the APC. It will not be easy. Nothing good comes easy. We will not say then we never then desperate. They want for retained power by all means. But we believe say we go remain firm, we ready for una, and we not go abandon una, and we will ensure say una get back the respite una need. May God help we all. May God make we all vote on that day. May we live for see that day, and may we all live for see a new APC government we go redeem this country.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Dr. Richard Conteh. We really appreciate you. And then you know to a new person. This we hope we definitely get for invite you before the election. So see you. I don't know whether you get anything for that.
Yeah, Dr. Conteh, we just want to express thanks and gratitude once more. Viewers and listeners, I mean, this was a clean-cut interview, many points addressed. Like both sides been the wait for address these very many issues leading into elections. This is surely a campaign, matter. And Dr. Conteh, once more, thank you, and we hope to see you again soon, sir.
Always available.
Thank you so much.
You very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a Then and Now TNN TV media production. More as we get it. Goodbye for now.